to a speaker who's going to tell us about eco-parenting. अभी eco-parenting जब आप सुनते हो तो आपके दिमाग में क्या आता है? Green revolution जैसा कुछ आता है? हाँ? How can probably parents go along with the environment and make you more responsible? Right? So this workshop is going to be taken by Prerna Singh Bhutalia. A little bit about her. She's a journalist, writer, editor with 17 years of experience across print, electronic and digital media. Another facet of her personality is to write on parenting. She is the founder and editor of Pretty As You Please, an online magazine on sustainability in fashion and eco-parenting. She is also the editor and co-author of Your Happy Pregnancy Handbook. She is here today to talk about eco-parenting, best described as bringing up your child in harmony with the environment and with a deep-rooted sense of community. It's a diverse topic, so let's start with the basics to understand what to expect from this workshop. So, I will welcome Prerna. Hi Prerna, please come.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
तो हम शुरुआत करेंगे वर्कशॉप की with some basic questions as a layman. So when I heard this term called eco-parenting, there were some questions which I had in mind. I wanted the answers for those in order to understand the workshop better. So we'll start with that. We'll just wait for everyone to settle down for about 10 seconds. Okay, so Prerna, welcome.
Thank you so much, Aarti.
So you talk about eco-parenting, fashion, and the art of using books to raise conscious, mindful citizens. Yeah?
That's right, yeah.
So what is eco-parenting and how is it different from any other form of parenting?
Aarti, I wouldn't say it's different from other forms of parenting, but the key point here is that it is a very deliberate way of parenting. So it's a conscious, mindful way of bringing up your child in harmony with nature and with a sense of community, like you said. Where, we're not just introducing our child to the wonders of nature. We're also making them aware of human interaction with nature. What we have to gain from it if done right, the damage it can cause if not done right. Making them aware of their own feelings, their inner self, so that they are able to connect with their emotions better and how they then project it onto the outer environment. A key point here is respect.
Okay.
So, we're talking about respect for people in our lives. We're talking about respect for each other. We're talking of respect for ourselves. It is really a very, like I said, a deliberate way, of doing things.
Okay. Okay. So you're also into an online magazine called Pretty As You Please, which is on sustainability in fashion, right? But it also addresses parents. So ये दोनों ही बहुत अलग चीज़ें हैं, fashion, parents, eco-parenting. So how do you tie these loose ends? How do they come together?
So this is very interesting, actually. Right. Absolutely. बिल्कुल. बिल्कुल. I'll be happy to do that. I think clothes are a very important part of our lives. Whatever we understand about the outside world, जो consumerism है, हम क्या खरीदते हैं, कितना खरीदते हैं, हमारे material possessions की तरफ हमारा जो attitude होता है, ये सारा कुछ कपड़ों से शुरू होता है. क्योंकि कपड़े हमारा एक वो material possession है जो हम हर रोज़ सारा टाइम यूज़ करते हैं. आप गाड़ी तब निकालोगे जब आपको कहीं जाना है. आप किताबें हर कोई नहीं पढ़ता है. टॉयज़ किसी के पास कम होते हैं, किसी के पास ज़्यादा होते हैं. आपका जब खेलने का मन करता है तब आप खेलते हो. ये मैं बच्चों के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बात कर रही हूँ. पर ये बच्चों और adults के लिए ये एक चीज़ ये बिल्कुल true है that what we our clothes are the one thing that we use all day, every day.
Yes.
So clothes are the starting point of consumerism and our attitude towards other things, towards stuff as they call it. And हमारा अपने साथ जो हमारा रिश्ता होता है हमारी बॉडीज़ के साथ, हमारी बॉडी इमेज जो होती है, हम अपने आप के बारे में कैसे सोचते हैं, हमारा जो सेल्फ एस्टीम जो होता है, ये सारा कुछ हमारे कपड़ों के चॉइस में सबसे पहले रिफ्लेक्ट करता है. और ये सब कुछ चाइल्डहुड में बनना शुरू होता है. सो हाउ यू ब्रिंग अप योर चाइल्ड and how the freedoms that a child is afforded, you know, how their choices are regarded.
Okay.
All of this falls right into our choice of clothes, our choice of colors, our choice of styles as adults, and then how it reflects in everything else that we do.
Okay, that's वो बहुत ही एक डीप टॉपिक है ये. आई थिंक बहुत डाइवर्स है, डीप है. तो जो प्रिटी एज यू प्लीज़ आपका ऑनलाइन मैगजीन है, आप उसमें किस तरीके के टॉपिक्स इंक्लूड करते हो और क्यों करते हो? आप कैसे चॉइस करते हो दैट आज मैंने या इस हफ्ते मैंने इस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक को हाईलाइट करना है?
कभी कभी तो वो लोगों के साथ मेरी कॉन्वर्सेशंस में से निकल कर आता है. मैं किसी से बात कर रही होंगी और वो कोई सिंपल सी चीज़ बोलेंगे और मैं रियलाइज़ करती हूँ कि ये बात लोग नहीं जानते हैं, जो कि कभी कभी मुझे बहुत ऑब्वियस लगता है क्योंकि मैं तो ये दिन रात करती हूँ. सो फ्रॉम देयर आई विल समटाइम्स पिक अप समथिंग. ऑफ कोर्स आई हैव अ टीम, उनके पास भी आइडियाज़ आते हैं, इंस्पिरेशंस आते हैं, हम पढ़ते रहते हैं, अपडेटेड रहते हैं, तो न्यू डेवलपमेंट्स जो होती हैं. रहे किस बात के टॉपिक्स हैं, हम बात करते हैं, वी हैव समथिंग कॉल्ड कॉन्शियस क्लॉजेट्स, जहाँ पे हम एवरीडे लोगों को इंटरव्यू करते हैं और उनकी स्टोरी सुनाते हैं कैसे उन्होंने अपने पहनाव में चेंज लाए हैं वो.
Is it about minimalism as well?
Minimalism is a part of it, but I feel this is a misconception. Okay. That to be sustainable, this is my personal belief. There are a lot of people, minimalism is sustainable, of course. There is no doubt about that. बट अगर हम मैक्सिमलिज्म से मिनिमलिज्म की तरफ जाते हैं तो फिर वो सस्टेनेबल नहीं है. Okay. क्योंकि एक हमारा इनर इंस्टिंक्ट होता है खरीदने का, क्या चीज़ें हमें पसंद है, हमारी चॉइसेस होती हैं. वो चॉइसेस को कम्प्लीटली चेंज करना हर किसी के लिए पॉसिबल नहीं है. तो अब वो बात ऐसी हो गई ना कि आपको खाना बहुत पसंद है और आप एकदम से क्रैश डाइट पे चले गए. वो आप कितनी देर सस्टेन कर सकते हैं? You know, you will eventually give in, and then you are likely to go on a binge.
Okay.
So going from maximalism to minimalism is not sustainable. The other part of it is, what are you going to do with all the things that you are getting rid of? जो चीज़ें आपने अपनी अलमारी से निकाली हैं, आपने अपने घर से क्लियर आउट किए हैं, आप उनका कर क्या रहे हो? आप किसको दे रहे हो? अगर आप उसको चैरिटी में दे रहे हो तो वो चैरिटी में जिसको दे रहे हो वो उनके किसी काम की है चीज़. अगर मैंने 2018 के न्यू ईयर के लिए एक चमकीली ड्रेस खरीदी थी और अब मैं बोलती हूँ कि मेरे को ये नहीं चाहिए तो चलो मैं चैरिटी में डाल देती हूँ, वो तो जा रहा है किसी रिलीफ विक्टिम को, रिलीफ उसको ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को. तो जिसका मान लो जिसके पास घर नहीं है,
बेसिकली गिविंग योर मेड हैंडबैग दैट शी इज नेवर गोना यूज.
एब्सोल्युटली,
है ना? तो आप उसको वो चीज़ दें जो उसके इस्तेमाल में आए.
Absolutely.
So अभी right now your podcast is live.
Yes.
How often is your podcast?
So our pilot episode went live this morning. And
congratulations.
Thank you. It's on Spotify. It's called Talking Pretty, and we are going to be releasing episodes once a week.
Congratulations, and now I hand it over to Prerna to take it further. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aarti. Before I start, मैं 2-3 चीज़ें बोलना चाहूँगी. एक तो आप में से कोई भी, if you are not doing something that we are saying is right or wrong or whatever, you don't need to feel guilty about it. We all do the best that we can. की चीज़ जो रह जाती है वो होती है अवेयरनेस, नॉलेज. कभी किसी को जब पता नहीं है कि क्या चीज़ का इम्पैक्ट क्या है, इट इज़ डिफ़िकल्ट टू मेक दोज चेंजेस. सेकेंडली, आपकी सीट्स पे आपको ये लीफलेट्स मिलेंगे. इनके ऊपर एक स्कैन कोड है. दिस विल टेक यू टू आवर वेबसाइट, जहाँ पे आपको आर्टिकल्स वेयर वी हैव बुक लिस्ट्स एंड वी हैव एक्टिविटीज़ फॉर किड्स to help them learn more about, to help them be more in sync with the environment and with people around them. How we can talk to them about diversity, body positivity, acceptance, body autonomy, things like upcycling, not throwing away things just because they don't want it anymore. So thank you so much. So I would request if you can scan it and take it and use the scan and put the leaflets back where you have and not throw the leaflets into the dustbin. If you'd like to take them with you, you're most welcome. My only request is please do not throw them into a dustbin. If that is what you're going to do, please hand them back to us. There is no right or wrong when it comes to parenting or even how we live our lives, as long as we're not hurting somebody. कोई absolutes नहीं होते हैं. We're all, it's an eco-parenting, sustainability, these are all evolving topics. We're all doing what we know, what we can, and we're learning every day. Even experts are learning every day. So we're all, looking for answers and doing what we can. And it's a journey. It's a step-by-step journey. It's baby steps. So I'd just like to start with that, and I shall begin my presentation now. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, हमारा थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम हो गया था. हमारी वीडियोस मैन्युअली प्ले करनी पड़ेंगी. You'll have to just bear with us. Absolutely. Volume. Sorry. The earth, it gives us everything. Sparrows at the window, millets for our meals, cotton for our summer pants, lithium for our phones, mangoes, wood, paper, indigo, colors of the rainbow, wide open seas, silk, coffee, dolphins, turmeric, roses, bamboo, hemp, linen, and so much more. We are, if the earth is, the way we live, the way we love, who we love. It all comes from the earth, of the earth. This is our environment. Let's give back to it all that we've got. We are all part of an ecosystem. है ना? No man is an island, आपने सुना होगा. It takes a village to raise a child, आपने सुना होगा. तो हमारा जो आपने ये वीडियो जो देखी, यू वुड हैव सीन हाउ देयर इज़ ट्रैश इन आवर ओशंस. ओशंस में वेस्ट है. ये वेस्ट हम जो चीज़ें बिना सोचे समझे फेंकते हैं, हम अपनी प्लास्टिक बॉटल्स बीच पे जाते हैं, पानी पीते हैं, साइड पे फेंक देते हैं. दिस इज़ वेयर द वेस्ट इज़ रियली कमिंग फ्रॉम एंड दिस इज़ व्हाट इट इज़ डूइंग टू नॉट जस्ट मरीन लाइफ. ये जो मरीन लाइफ थी ये तो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव थी, ये एक एग्जाम्पल था. इट इज़ ऑल्सो डूइंग दिस टू अस. हमारी बॉडीज़ के साथ क्या कर रहा है. नाउ व्हेन इट कम्स टू पेरेंटिंग, देयर इज़ अ चाइल्ड साइकोलॉजिस्ट कॉल्ड एलिसन गोपनिक. एलिसन गोपनिक ने एक किताब लिखी थी, द कार्पेंटर एंड द गार्डनर. नाउ हियर शी टॉक्स ऑफ टू वेज ऑफ ब्रिंगिंग अप अ चाइल्ड. वन दैट वी हैव ट्रेडिशनली हर्ड is the right way to bring up a child, and the other, which what people call a more modern way. In many ways it is also what science tells us is a more effective way. तो जो कारपेंटर होता है वो क्या करता है, वो एंड प्रोडक्ट एनविजन करता है. अगर उसको चेयर बनानी है तो चेयर कैसी लगेगी, और फिर वो चेयर के हिसाब से कैसे उसको कट चिजल पॉलिश करना है, उसको जो कलर पेंट का करना है, ऑल ऑफ दैट ही डिसाइड्स एंड देन ही स्टार्ट्स वर्किंग टुवर्ड्स दैट. सो अ पेरेंट हु इज लाइक अ carpenter does something similar. You decide that you want your child to grow up to be a conscious, responsible citizen, a good person. और फिर उसके हिसाब से आप अपने घर में रूल्स सेट करते हैं, आप डिसाइड करते हैं कि क्या होगा. अगर आपका बच्चा डिसोबीडियंट होता है तो आप उसको पनिश करते हैं. आप उनकी चॉइसेस को डिसाइड करने में आप डिसाइड करते हैं, क्योंकि adults know best, you know. On the other hand, जो गार्डनर होता है, वो गार्डनर क्या करता है, वो पहले बेड तैयार करता है, क्यारी तैयार करता है, then they sow the seeds, फिर उसमें वो खाद डालते हैं, वो क्यारियाँ बनाते हैं अगर क्यारियों की ज़रूरत है, पॉट्स लेते हैं, वो इंडिविजुअल प्लांट्स के लिए इंडिविजुअल एनवायरनमेंट सेटअप करते हैं. और उसके साथ लिमिट्स भी होती हैं, सपोर्ट भी होती है. क्रीपर्स होते हैं, उनको सपोर्ट की ज़रूरत होती है, तो वहाँ पे आप सपोर्ट लगाते हैं. कुछ होते हैं प्लांट्स जो कि बिल्कुल एकदम से कुछ नहीं चाहिए होता है, जंगली हो जाते हैं, तो उनको कंटेन करना पड़ता है, डीवीड करना पड़ता है.
So Prerna, I am just Prerna here. So what I understand basically right now is like you're saying कि जो parent है वो एक gardener है. Absolutely. और जो बच्चे हैं वो पौधे हैं. Absolutely. तो हर पौधा अलग है. Absolutely. तो पहले वो पौधे को समझो, और फिर उसके हिसाब से you do whatever as a parent that you have got to do. This is your message, right?
बिल्कुल. Okay, absolutely. So your child is basically this. Now there is now what happens is there is another part to any relationship, really, not just parent-child, it happens with friends also. Philippa Perry, who is a psychotherapist, child psychotherapist, she wrote a book called The Book You Wish Your Parents Had Read. So she talks about a very interesting concept called rupture and repair. वो कहती हैं कि जो rupture होता है, rupture मतलब किसी चीज़ में टूटता नहीं है, पर उसमें क्रैक आ जाता है, या कोई चीज़ जैसे कपड़ा छिद जाता है. तो जो rupture होता है, that is a normal part of every relationship. Disagreements are normal in every relationship, right? But the critical part is the repair of it. How are you good at repairing your relationship? So that repair part is what we need to focus on to ensure that our children are at peace with themselves. When they are at peace with themselves, when there is balance, they will be more at peace with the outside world. Now, eco-parenting comes very, very close to Gopnik's theory, and it incorporates what Philippa Perry also said. And it talks about respecting your child, respecting each other, so that your child in turn learns to respect other people. And like I said earlier while I was speaking to Aarti, respect is key to this. So that was just to snap everybody out of the slightly heavy conversation where it is going. Like I said before, clothes are the starting point of consumerism. हम किस तरह के कपड़े पहनना पसंद करते हैं, हम किस तरीके से अपने आप को ड्रेस करते हैं, हम ज़्यादा कवर करने में बिलीव करते हैं अपने आप को, और whether we like wearing short dresses or we like wearing comfortable clothes, we like to wear heels, and we like to always be dressed up a certain way. How we project ourselves all comes down to our experiences in childhood, and and then it reflects in our relationship with other things. The kidswear sector is one of the largest waste generators in the world. I'm just going to throw a few facts your way to kind of get this. Okay. 38 million children's shoes are produced each year. Kids grow half a shoe size every 3 months. So that means every 3 months, shoes are being taken out, and shoes end up in landfills well before their end of life. So the kidswear sector is only 12% of the overall market share when it comes to the garment industry. But it contributes 183 million items of kids' clothing that are thrown into landfill each year. 26 billion pounds of clothing lying in landfills is kidswear. To also put this into context, one truckload, एक ट्रक में जितने कपड़े भरे जा सकते हैं, एक ट्रक भर के कपड़े हर सेकेंड लैंडफिल में जाते हैं. Every second, these are global figures. Every second, one truckload of clothing goes to landfill. So this is for us to think about how we dispose and whether we look at our clothes as something to be loved and cherished, or something to just be used and thrown. 64% of babies' clothes are neither stained, nor punctured, nor worn, nor torn. They could have been used by another child, but there are beliefs like छोटे बच्चे को दूसरे की चीज़ नहीं पहनाते हैं, या लोग ये भी बिलीव करते हैं कि अगर आप किसी और का कपड़ा पहन लोगे तो उसकी एनर्जी आपके ऊपर आ जाती है. These are, I'm not going to counter these because some people may have very, very deep-rooted beliefs, but the fact is that this is what the beliefs are doing to our planet. So, at the end of the day, you can keep your beliefs, but if there is, the planet will be there. इसमें कोई शक नहीं है. The earth is not going anywhere. Ice Age भी खत्म हुई थी, earth वहीं थी. The glaciers all melted, life went away, the dinosaurs went away, the earth stayed. We will go away, the earth will be right here. So this is something very, very important for us to consider when we talk about this. And kids were going into landfills, ये बच्चों की गलती नहीं है, ये हम पेरेंट्स की गलती है. क्योंकि बच्चे तो, मेरी बेटी अभी बाहर गई है मेरे ख्याल से खेलने के लिए, वो इस हफ्ते वो तीसरी बार वही शर्ट पहन रही है, क्योंकि बच्चों को एक चीज़ पसंद आती है और वो चीज़ बार बार पहनना चाहते हैं. दे फाइंड कंफर्ट इन फेमिलियर थिंग्स, दे हैव देयर चॉइसेस. हम उनको बोलते हैं कि नहीं, अभी तो उन्होंने दिखा था ये पहना हुआ, या छोटा सा दाग लग जाता है तो हम बोलते हैं अरे लोग सोचेंगे कि हमारे पास पैसे नहीं है, हम तुम्हारे को कपड़े खरीद कर नहीं दे सकते हैं. बात ये नहीं है कि आप वो कपड़े खरीदना अफोर्ड कर सकते हो कि नहीं. आज की डेट में हमारा प्लैनेट नहीं अफोर्ड कर सकता है. वी आर हियरिंग माई 2 days before I was to come here, I lost my voice. This is not my original voice. हम दिल्ली के थ्रू ड्राइव कर रहे थे और पंजाब से आए हैं जहाँ पे पराली जलाई जा रही थी. दिल्ली ड्राइव कर रहे थे, जब तक मैं दिल्ली पहुँची मेरी आवाज़ पूरी तरह से गायब हो चुकी थी. This is not just agriculture. It is a cumulative effect of everything. Things that don't need to be made are being made because we want to keep buying new things. हमारे को हर वो नई चीज़ चाहिए जो हमने मार्केट में देखी. आज लोग फटे हुए जीन्स पहन रहे हैं तो हमको फटी हुई जीन्स चाहिए. आज लोग ढीली जीन्स पहन रहे हैं तो हमको ढीली जीन्स चाहिए. आज लोग पेडल पुशर्स पहन रहे हैं तो हमको पेडल पुशर्स भी चाहिए. हमको हर एक चीज़ चाहिए जो हम देख रहे हैं. आज बच्चे पॉपेट से खेल रहे हैं तो हमको पॉपेट से खेलना है ना. कौन सा एक्शन फिगर लेटेस्ट है जो हमको खरीदना चाहते हैं. So the thing is, it's a never-ending cycle that goes on and on and on, and it goes across the board. So if we are just mindful about our consumption, there is so much that we can, and how we dispose things, because that is critical to this. Sorry. Just a little thing about how. I'm really sorry about this. This was supposed to be more fun, but. हाँ जी. Yes, yes, of course. हाँ जी. हाँ जी, definitely. These are just my feelings and my team's, and I think a few people who can relate to us. हाँ जी. So, how do we get around this? The first thing, of course, is to acknowledge and accept that this is a problem. If you are somebody who goes shopping very often, then you need to think about it. अगर आप बच्चे बैठे हुए हैं तो मैं आपको आप घर जाकर अगर मम्मा पापा को रोज़ बोलते हैं कि मेरे फ्रेंड के पास ये है तो मुझे भी चाहिए, ये प्रॉब्लम है. आपको हर चीज़ की ज़रूरत नहीं है जो आपके फ्रेंड्स के पास है ना. जैसे मैं अपनी बेटी को हमेशा बताती हूँ, दूसरे हर घर के अलग रूल्स होते हैं. बिकॉज हाउ डू यू एक्सप्लेन टू अ चाइल्ड कि उसके फ्रेंड के पास है और वो बच्चे को फोमो हो रहा है कि आई एम मिसिंग आउट ऑन दिस. So you basically you talk to them and you tell them every house has different rules. You talk to them about how and you need to do it in a manner that you're not making the other parents sound bad. So you know what I always, so she'll ask me, Mama, उसके पेरेंट्स को नहीं पता कि ये हमारे प्लैनेट के लिए अच्छा नहीं है. तो फिर मैं उसको बोलती, मैंने कहा नहीं बेटे, आई एम श्योर दे आर डूइंग समथिंग एल्स, बिकॉज ऑल ऑफ अस कांट डू एवरीथिंग. अगर हम सब अपने घर में कंपोस्ट पिट भी खोल लेंगे और सारे अपने क्लीनर्स घर पे ही बनाने लग जाएंगे और सब कुछ, तो हमारे पास काम पे जाने का तो टाइम ही नहीं रहेगा. So, you know, we need to be realistic about what we do, which is why the mindset and the consciousness and the awareness is important. And then each of us does what we can. What you are not doing, you need to just understand कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं ताकि हम उसका impact minimize कर सके. This is a very important thing. Every action, everything that we do has a carbon impact. Has a carbon footprint. आप WhatsApp messages भेजते हैं, उनका भी carbon footprint होता है. आप emails भेजते हैं, उनका carbon footprint अलग होता है. और जो आप emails delete नहीं करते हैं पढ़ने के बाद, जो useless emails आपके inbox में collect होती रहती हैं, उनका भी carbon footprint होता है. क्योंकि जो वो servers use कर रहे हैं, those servers are out somewhere, हमको नहीं पता. You know, things that you are saving in your cloud, those are massive servers that use massive amounts of energy. जो energy जाती है वो सब कुछ उनको आपके messages को आपके phone में save करके रखने के लिए, हमको पता ही नहीं है उसका impact क्या है. मतलब पता है, people know what the impact is, but everyday people don't know. I also didn't know till I started really getting into it, and it was an eye opener for me कि अरे हर extra message का impact होता है. So that doesn't mean कि हम करना छोड़ दें. अगर हम यहाँ पे खड़े हैं, यहाँ पे प्लास्टिक बॉटल है, कितना चलो ठीक है, आपका पानी ख़त्म हो गया है, आपका ऑप्शन है कि या तो आप प्यासे रहो या फिर आप प्लास्टिक की बॉटल खोल के पानी पी लो. So you need to choose what is more important at that point in time. As long as you understand that there is an impact, you will make better choices, you will make better decisions. And that is the bottom line when it comes to this. With kids, the most important thing to do is to inculcate a culture of mend and repair. हमने एक stain की बात की, एक stain है, उसकी वजह से वो फेंकना नहीं चाहिए. Find a way to repurpose it or to make it more beautiful. kids as young as 3 can work with a thread and needle. ये हम parents को लगता है कि अरे छोटे बच्चे को सुई पकड़ा दी. ठीक है, don't give scissors, but you get safety scissors. You can allow a child to do that paper cutting or whatever. Start them off on paper. In fact, if you go to the stories here, we have a story on how to start mending with kids. Card के ऊपर आप holes डाल के उनको needle thread देकर, you can, it builds hand-eye coordination also. Your child will, learn how to go through those holes. So that's how you teach them. And like I said, you can start as young as 3. I did not, unfortunately, know that this was an option, or I hadn't started exploring it at that point when my daughter was 3, but I did start with her when she was 5. And it is very, very possible. Just a proud parent moment for me that I'm showing off here. You can, till this comes, you can teach your child very, very basic
I
mends.
actually did it myself. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you
I
can
actually did it
basic mends.
myself. Yeah. I actually did it myself. Yeah.
Nice. So this was an old T-shirt that she had bought for her when she was 2 years old, and she refused to throw it. Like I said, kids find comfort in familiar things. They want to wear the same clothes again and again. मेरा भाई था वो अपना laundry basket से जाकर T-shirts निकालकर फिर से पहन लेता था क्योंकि उसको वही T-shirt चाहिए थी. So kids want those few things to hang on to. It is us parents who say कि नहीं थोड़ा और खरीद देते हैं, थोड़ा और खरीद देते हैं. So this T-shirt she refused to get rid of, and of course it didn't fit her. Her hand wouldn't go through the sleeve, the end of the sleeves. So we chopped off the sleeves from the side, and I drew the flower for her. जो उसने अपने crayons के साथ अंदर उसको color किया है, मैंने उसको hoop पे लगा के देखा, and she's embroidered it herself. So this is something which is very, very, very doable, and I've actually done it and seen it done. We're also very, very fortunate that we live in an age where things are now very doable. They've become easy for us as parents who want to be mindful. एक सैन फ्रांसिस्को में there is a university, वहाँ के design students ने एक jacket invent की है जो कि adjustable है. 7 sizes that jacket can go up and down with, buttons that you can open and close. In India, we have this brand called Areto, which launched very, very recently, which makes adjustable kids' shoes. So that same pair of shoes can last your child for 3 different shoe sizes. So, we are very fortunate about these things. अगर हमारे पेरेंट्स डायपर्स नहीं यूज़ करना चाहते थे तो उनके पास ऑप्शन, मेरे पास भी जब मेरी बेटी पैदा हुई थी, ऑप्शन यही था कि हम वो कपड़े के नैपीज़ पहनाकर उनको बार बार वो पूरा सब कुछ उठाकर धोना शुरू कर दो और साफ़ करते रहो. लेकिन आज की डेट में आपके पास जैसे सुपर बॉटम्स जैसे चीज़ें हैं जहाँ पे आप लीक प्रूफ है, उसके अंदर आपकी लाइनिंग इंसर्ट्स हैं जो बैम्बू फाइबर से बने हुए हैं, सो दे आर सेफ फॉर योर चाइल्ड, दे आर लो इम्पैक्ट. All you need to do is change that lining, and everything gets contained inside. Of course, you have to wash it. धोना तो पड़ेगा. पर you just swap out the inner lining, and your child can wear that for 2-3 more wears. So and every time you wash it and you dry it, and those 5-6 sets will last you your child's entire baby years at least. So we are very, very lucky that we have this that we're living in an age where we have this. Now, we need to buy responsibly. When we talk to our children, when we teach them things like the kind of clothes that we buy for them, that we make them wear, the clothes that we wore, that were bought for us, or whether it's hand-me-downs, made of breathable fabrics, made of beautiful fabrics. which is very easy for us. India produces 95% of the hand-woven textiles in the world. It is the largest producer of hand-woven textiles. We live in India. It's not, an inaccessible luxury for us. So, जब हम बच्चों को शुरू से क्वालिटी चीज़ें, hand-me-down चीज़ें, ये breathable fabrics, better fabrics, things that are better for them, things that are more comfortable, things that have pockets, that are convenient for them. अगर हम बचपन से उनको इसी डायरेक्शन में लेकर जाएंगे, जब वो बड़े होंगे वो क्वालिटी एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे, वो कंफर्ट एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे, वो जो वो चीज़ें खरीदने जाएंगे वो उससे बेटर एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे. They will buy better. They will want better. They will appreciate hand-me-downs and pre-loved. Ungendered clothing. Telling our child, dressing our girls only in frocks and our boys only in trousers. Where is it written? And why are we telling our children what they should wear and what they shouldn't wear? So, when my daughter was born, I had decided कि नहीं इसको तो मैं pink तो मैं नहीं पहनाऊंगी बिल्कुल भी, क्योंकि pink होता है. I will dress her in all other colors, but I will stay away from pink and anything that is typically girly, which is also not right actually, because I was not giving her that one option. So, but in my head I was so this thing that I want her to come to that. And आज वो जब घूम रही है यहाँ पे, उसने एक पिंक कलर की टी शर्ट पहनी हुई है जिसके साइड पे लेस स्लीव्स है, उसके ऊपर सीक्वेंस भी हैं चमकीले, और उसके ऊपर एक प्रिंसेस कैरेक्टर भी बना हुआ है. बिकॉज दैट इज द पर्सन दैट शी इज, दैट दोज आर हर पर्सनल चॉइसेस. It is what she is attracted to. When we walked into a store and she told me that, Mama, I want something like this, the only time that I have said no to her is if it was something she didn't need at all. If it was made of polyester, which is a plastic, and we are going to come to that very soon. And it is not something nice, in terms of how it is made, what it is made of. Not कि ये चीज़ लगती है ऐसे इसीलिए मैं नहीं लेकर दूँगी. Yes, of course. हाँ जी.
आपने अभी फैब्रिक की बात की,
हाँ.
बात पॉलिएस्टर की हो रही है.
हाँ जी.
तो अक्सर पेरेंट्स जो है वो सूती फैब्रिक अपने बच्चों की.
Correct.
हमने देखा है हमारे टाइम में हमें कहा जाता था कि भाई आप सूती पहनेंगे, आप हिंदुस्तान के मौसम के हिसाब से ये फैब्रिक ज़्यादा अच्छा है. तो इस मतलब क्या कॉटन ही ऐसा फैब्रिक है जो हमें पसंद करना चाहिए? अगर बच्चे और तरह के चमकीले फैब्रिक्स पसंद, आजकल हर चीज़ में प्लास्टिक की फैब्रिक्स आते हैं, प्रिंट्स लगे हुए होते हैं, या इसकी कॉटन के अलावा और भी इको फ्रेंडली ऑल्टरनेटिव हैं जिसमें बच्चों का भी मनपसंद अलग अलग तरह से कपड़े पहनने की जो इच्छा होती है वो भी हो जाए और एनवायरनमेंट को भी हम नुकसान हो?
नहीं, so you actually kind of answered that there. The polyester, our children should not be wearing polyester. I will come to the why shortly. There are some things where it can't be helped. जो बच्चों की जो पिजामियाँ होती हैं, टाइट्स होती हैं, उसमें कम से कम 5% 10% पॉलिएस्टर होता है. बिल्कुल प्योर, खास करके विंटर वेयर के लिए ढूंढना बहुत मुश्किल है. But when it comes to eco-friendly fabrics, cotton eco-friendly नहीं है, skin-friendly है. Eco-friendly cotton सिर्फ वो है जो हम अपना, जिसको देसी कॉटन बोलते हैं, जो शॉर्ट थ्रेड कॉटन होता है, जो सिर्फ हैंड वीव हो सकता है. यस, पर जो दूसरा कॉटन है, जो इवन ऑर्गेनिक कॉटन uses a lot of water. It is not rain fed, so it has a high impact when it comes to the planet. Fiber, जो fabrics हैं, again like I said, we live in a very very good age जहाँ पे हमारे पास options की कोई कमी नहीं है. Skin friendly और eco friendly दोनों चीज़ें hemp है. Bamboo इको फ्रेंडली है, पर बैम्बू का भी जो प्रोडक्शन टेक्निक है वो थोड़ा सा हाई इम्पैक्ट है, और उसके जो सोर्सिंग जो है थोड़ी सी क्वेश्चनेबल है, क्योंकि 90% ऑफ द बैम्बू फैब्रिक इन द वर्ल्ड इज़ मेड इन चाइना. चाइना में लेबर लॉज और एनवायरमेंटल लॉज दोनों के नाम पे कुछ भी नहीं है. तो जब हमको पता ही नहीं है कि वो बैम्बू कैसे कल्टिवेट हुआ है, कैसे एक्सट्रैक्ट हुआ है, उसका फाइबर कैसे बना है, लोगों ने किस कंडीशन में वो फैक्ट्रीज़ में काम करते हैं, तो तब तक हम बोल नहीं सकते हैं कि ये इको फ्रेंडली है. सो द सोर्स इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट व्हेन इट कम्स टू बैम्बू, बट बैम्बू एंड हेम्प एंड लिनन आर वेरी वेरी गुड ऑप्शन्स, ऑल्टरनेटिव्स टू कॉटन. So that is that. You can see here a few books that I personally enjoy reading to my child about, talking to your kids about upcycling, keeping them away from, this entire thing of waste, or teaching them that waste is not waste till you throw it. That is the key here. There is, when they say throw it away, there is no way. ऐसे नहीं कि आपने फेंक दिया और वो गायब हो जाएगी चीज. आपने फेंक दिया तो वो कहाँ जा रही है? इट्स राइट हियर, राइट? है ना? सो जब हम बेस्ट फ्रॉम वेस्ट की बात करते हैं, दैट बेस्ट फ्रॉम वेस्ट, people don't like it because they don't understand why we are doing it. The moment you understand कि आप ये क्यों कर रहे हैं, आप बेस्ट फ्रॉम वेस्ट क्यों कर रहे हो, आप बेस्ट फ्रॉम वेस्ट इसलिए कर रहे हो क्योंकि अगर आप उस चीज़ का, उस वेस्ट का आप कुछ नहीं बनाओगे तो वो वेस्ट है, वो लैंडफिल में जाएगा. अगर आप उसका कुछ बनाते हो वो वैल्यूबल हो जाती है. आपने हाथ से बनाया है. आप जब अपने पेरेंट्स को बताओगे या दिखाओगे, योर पेरेंट्स विल फील प्राइड इन व्हाट यू मेड, है ना? सो इट बिकम्स वैल्यूबल. मेरी बेटी ने एक ड्राइंग की थी, पहली बार पेंटिंग की थी, उसका कोई सर पैर नहीं था, पर हम इतने खुश हो गए, हमने जाकर उसको लैमिनेट करके अपने टेबल मैट्स बना लिए. सो these things are valuable, and we feel very proud to tell people, oh, this was made by our daughter. So if we picked it up and we put it in the dustbin, वो तो फिर वो वेस्ट था और वो लैंडफिल में ही जा रहा था. So these are when kids are exposed to these kind of conversations around waste, conversations around diversity at a very, very young age, they grow up to normalized conversations. Issues that we treat as taboo stop being taboo. That's the only way to build a more inclusive society, to build society where every child feels confident the way they are, and there is no pressure on anybody कि वो मेरा फ्रेंड तो वो तो कितना लंबा वो बास्केटबॉल भी खेलता है और सब उसको पसंद करते हैं, वो कितना पॉपुलर है और ये वो प्रेशर ऐसे बढ़ता है. बट इफ़ वी स्टार्ट नॉर्मलाइजिंग people who play sports and people who don't play sports alike, we need to start having these conversations. We need to have conversations that allow people to that actually give the same amount of respect to people of all shapes, sizes, colors, choices. We are building a more inclusive society. We need to talk about class and caste. We need to have these conversations. We need to teach our children respect for people who do their work, people who they encounter every day. Clothes, again, play a very, very important role here. Because...
Prerna, I just
yes.
remembered something.
Yes.
तो मैम बेसिकली बोल रहे हैं कि जो आपके घर में कूड़े वाला आता है वो एक्चुअली कूड़े वाला नहीं है, वो सफाई वाला है, लेकिन हम उसे बोलते हैं कूड़े वाला. राइट? सो दैट इज़ द रिस्पेक्ट. वो हमें मदद कर रहा है हमारे घर की सफाई रखने में, लेकिन हमने उसको कूड़े वाला बोल दिया. राइट? सो मैम इज सेइंग दैट, मैम क्या बोल रहे हैं कि जब हम लोग छोटे थे तो हमें याद है हम अपने सीनियर्स को पहले ही बोल देते थे तुम्हारे इस साल की किताबें ना तुम मेरे लिए रख देना। हम बुक करते थे किताबें, लेकिन आजकल या तो स्कूल्स ही बदल गए हैं, बिकॉज स्कूल्स कहते हैं कि आपने पूरी एक नई सेट खरीदनी है, इतनी कॉपियाँ इतनी किताबें आपने खरीदनी है, उसमें ड्राइंग किट भी होता है, वो चाहे बच्चा इस्तेमाल करे ना करे। Right? I do not know what is the rule in APS right now because I have not studied from APS. But अगर आप ये बोले अपने मम्मी पापा को कि नहीं हमने नहीं किताबें नहीं खरीदनी है, हमने अपने सीनियर को बता दिया है, we will use those books. वो आप ऐसी छोटी छोटी चीज़ें कर सकते हैं। Right? You can wear your brothers and sisters clothes. उसको बोलते हैं hand me downs, है ना? So these are small things जो आप लोग कर सकते हो। Okay? चलो प्रेरणा, please carry on.
Yes. Thank you so much for that, Aarti. And clothes, again, I'll...
Hi, my name is Dipna, and I'm the co-founder of a sustainable clothing brand for kids called Love the World Today.
Sorry.
I am also
So-
an early years educator. Hi, my name is Dipna, and I'm
Just
the
mute that
co-founder of
now.
a sustainable clothing.
Sorry. So, what we've got, we come back to clothes, which are again a very play a key role in exposing our children to exactly this, and to the lives of people who make the things we wear, we own, and make our lives easier. You can't take a child into a car factory, you know, an electrician's shop or a carpenter's workshop. There are really no places for kids. There are too many hazards there, right? But a tailor's shop is a safe place for a child to be at. It is an interesting place for a child to be at. You know, looking at colors, taking in the vibrance, taking in the processes that they are seeing, looking at the lives of people, and you know, they live out of their shops, right? You can see somebody getting their khana for them, or you see the tiffin lying over there. ये जो छोटी चीज़ें होती हैं जो आप अगर आप attention और जैसे मैंने कहा deliberation, क्योंकि बच्चे को ऐसे लेकर जाकर हम आ गए उससे कुछ नहीं होने वाला है, बट अगर deliberation आती है जो मैंने पहले बोला, और आप जा रहे हो, आप उनको बच्चे को प्राइम करके लेकर गए हो कि हम यहाँ पे जा रहे हैं, and you know you are going to see, this is what you are going to see, and you've gone, you've done your work, your child will have observed all the things that you would have put into your child's head. You've prepared them. तो उन्होंने वो देख लिया है, वो जब वापस आएंगे तो वो आपसे ज़रूर डिस्कस करेंगे कि मैंने ये देखा और ये ऐसा था. So when they've seen the lives of people who make our clothes, who do our things, who make other stuff for us, that respect comes in from having that insight. That insight is very important. There is also, like I said, talking to kids about expecting better. Now I'll now kind of just hand it over to Dipna, who is the founder of a kids clothing brand, and about how kids interact with their clothes and the kind of effect that it has on them.
Hi, my name is Dipna, and I'm the co-founder of a sustainable clothing brand for kids called Love the World Today. I am also an early years educator, and hence my approach to design at my brand is influenced by my interaction with little children, with young children, and how they move, how they interact with their environment. Clothes influence how we feel, think, not just about ourselves but also the world around us. To begin with, I think for kids, clothes just simply need to be very, very comfortable and functional. They need to make sure that they don't interfere in how kids move, crawl, jump, run, play, and engage with their environment, because kids are curious by nature. They want to be free, they want to move, and clothes should support that rather than come in the way of that. So they have to definitely be very, very comfortable and breathable. Clothes are also our chosen skin in a way, right? So they cover our skin, which is one of the largest organs of our bodies, and how that feels in the skin plays a very big part. It's also about what gets absorbed through the skin, which is also why I feel that it's essential that kids are dressed in a fabric or material which is natural, breathable, comfortable, lightweight, and does the job of, you know, the weather or environment that you are in. So if it's cold, it needs to keep kids warm. If it's warm, it needs to allow the skin to breathe and sweat it out. The other thing that clothes do is allow us to have conversations. They allow us to have conversations about understanding how clothes are made, where do they come from. If you expose children to handmade textiles, which are so important to our cultural and socio-economic environment in India, I think it's beautiful, because then you're allowing them to value clothes or things that are handmade, that are quality, that are long lasting, that can be passed on, that can be loved, that can be cared for. And these are very essential qualities that you want to instill in your children, and the sort of world they build around them, and how they engage with the makers and people of this world. So clothes definitely form a huge part of that conversation. And kids are very smart. They're way smarter than we give them credit for. So if you give them something that's made out of exceptional quality, is really great material, they know it. They will time and again pick out that garment from their wardrobe, and that's something worth wondering why.
So I just put that in because just one voice sometimes isn't enough to drive home the point. And talking about giving them exceptional stuff, we were just talking of materials, and I need to talk about polyester. The fossil fuel industry is everywhere. Petroleum is everywhere. It's in our clothes. And at this point in time, plastic is everywhere. It's also in our bodies. Studies have found, very recent news, it's been in the news very recently, microplastics have been found in placenta. They've been found in the bloodstreams of newborn babies. They have been found in breast milk. Microplastics. And this is going into our bodies when we eat out of plastic containers, when we drink out of plastic containers. But not just that, it is also going into our body when we wear polyester through our skin. Unfortunately, we don't have too many options right now because most of our active wear, the clothes that we wear to go and exercise, to play, our track pants, our t-shirts, our sports bras, all of those are the quick dry t-shirts that we wear. These are all made of polyester. There is no other material that is as good a performance fabric. Polyester is sweat wicking. It doesn't absorb the sweat. The other things that give you the stretch and the freedom of movement would be bamboo and hemp, but they both absorb the sweat and become heavy. तो अगर आप भागने जा रहे हैं और आपका जैसे पसीना आने लगेगा, आपके कपड़े भारी होते जाएंगे, आपकी स्पीड कम होती जाएगी, आप उसको परफॉर्मेंस के लिए नहीं पहन सकते हो. So polyester right now, unfortunately, is our only option for that. But the other side of it is, when you wear something made of polyester and you sweat, your pores are open, the microplastics from the polyester are seeping into our bloodstream. When you wash these clothes, the microplastics are going out with the grey water. Grey water जो waste water होता है हमारी washing machine से निकलता है, हम कपड़े धोने पे निकलता है. जब ये निकलता है, उसमें माइक्रोप्लास्टिक्स निकलते हैं. अगर आपने कभी वॉशिंग मशीन के अंदर देखा है, एक वो फिल्टर होता है, आप वो जब फिल्टर खोल के देखोगे, उस फिल्टर में 98% प्लास्टिक्स होते हैं. These are all coming out of our clothes. To give you a we've got आपने कनलावत आपने पूछा था fabrics के options. We've got here things that are in the green are better. The ones that are the better ones are a little brighter green. It's all shaded in terms of how good or bad they are. So we have hemp, which is hemp and linen, which are actually at the top of the chart, they don't need too much water. They are pest resistant. They don't need fertilizers, and they biodegrade within 2 weeks. Cotton comes because cotton takes water. That is its one big drawback. Other than that, cotton is also very good because depending on the dyes used in the cotton that you're wearing, it will biodegrade anywhere between 1 week and 5 months. वो जो हमारे dyes हैं, those kind of add to that. Denim is great, and then we have wool. Nylon, 30 to 40 years. Polyester, 20 to 200 years. That's how long it takes to biodegrade. And then we have spandex, which is that stretch material, which people now put in jeans also. Your lycra, basically. Lycra never biodegrades. It will just live on forever, come in the way of other biodegradable things that go into the landfill to, come in their way when it comes to biodegrading, and creating methane, which is a very, very high greenhouse gas and is causing global warming. We are on the 14th of November. I'm wearing sleeveless clothes. This is global warming if there is global, for anybody who believes that it is not, climate change is real. We're talking about microplastics. I have a few figures here, and we have a short video to kind of just break down microplastics for us. It is estimated that by 2050, the amount of plastic waste in landfills and the environment will reach 12,000 million metric tons. 12,000 million metric tons. With CO2 emissions resulting in about 6.5 million tons. 6.5 million tons of carbon dioxide by 2050. And in India, we are still saying that we will reduce our carbon emissions by 2070. 2050, this damage would have been done. Microplastics, like any other plastics, take 100 years to decompose, enter the food chain through marine animals or the soil your food grows in, and can enter your lungs. Bloodstream, I mentioned, it seems simple, but they're also in our lungs. Just a quick thing on what microplastics are. So, everyday changes that we can make. हम अपनी bottle carry कर सकते हैं. हम अपने shopping bags carry कर सकते हैं. जब हम shopping के लिए जाएं, अपने bags carry कीजिए. And here is one more shocker. जब आप shopping जाते हैं और वो आपको वो जो woven bags देते हैं और बोलते हैं कि नहीं ये तो biodegradable है. There is a rider there. These are industrially biodegradable. These are biodegradable only if the municipality of your city, the city that you live in, Jaipur I'm sure has it, but for people who live in smaller cities especially, if the municipality of your city has waste disposal plants where they make energy from waste, only then is it biodegradable. ऐसे नहीं है कि आप अगर जाकर इसको मिट्टी में दफना देंगे या आप अपने कंपोस्ट पिट में डाल दोगे तो ये बायोडिग्रेड हो जाएगा, ये नहीं होगा. So there is a caveat there which they forget to mention. So it is a very, very important practice, in fact, to carry your own shopping bags. Shopping bags are also great because it's a great way to use clothes that you can no longer wear, especially t-shirts. Simple hack. आप अपनी t-shirts के गले को अगर आप उसको stitch कर दो, and you just cut off the sleeves, you stitch the sides, and you use your sleeves to make little handles You open up the stitch and you make it to use little handles. You've got shopping bags. So, you know, this is a great way to just use what you have and make the best without causing more damage to the environment. When it comes to kids, the most waste produced in a single day is when it comes to birthday parties. Birthday parties, the moment we start breaking it down, we have decorations, we have balloons, we have disposable cutlery, disposable crockery, we have cake boxes, those plastic knives that come in the cake box. There is wrapping paper all over the place. There are gifts, there are duplicates. There is so much waste. There are a lot of people talking about, sustainable birthday parties and stuff. Personally, I found it a little extreme, even for me, because we were speaking of FOMO. There is only so much FOMO that a child can deal with, even when they know better. So just a little example of a sustainable party, I would say, because this is something that is actually very doable. This is my daughter's 6th birthday. She wore a dress which was not new. For me, it was like she decided on it weeks in advance that, Mama, on my birthday, I will wear my flower girl dress. She was a flower girl at a wedding, and she was given this dress by the bride and groom. So that dress came out, and then that dress came out on my birthday 4 days later. So she's very happy to wear it again and again. It was a rebel theme party. We were rebelling against everything, really. It was her idea, not mine, and I was, of course, only too happy to play along. I am not a baker, but I baked a cake. I always bake a cake for her. She will choose the cake. The cake was not great, I have to let you know, but it was very, very special because she chose her cake. She was extremely happy, going around saying, oh, my mama made my cake. When her friends walked in, I was giving, the finishing touches to the cake, and there were all these kids saying, Auntie, aapne banaya ye cake? Because, homemade cakes have become a rarity. So the kids ate the cake, and not only did they eat the cake, it's only when I ate it that I realized it wasn't that great, but they went home and they told their mothers ki auntie ne cake khud banaya tha. So, besides the fact that it became special, it did not come in a box. There was no plastic knife in it. There was no disposable things coming out of it. We used melamine plates. We borrowed melamine plates to make up the numbers. Melamine plates are not breaking, They wash and go, they're reusable. We did not have balloons because she herself said balloons are bad for the planet, which they are. They are terrible for the planet. They use two things. They have plastic, they've got latex, which are both horrible. In the name of decorations, we had three little portraits that she had made. They were supposed to be Queen Elizabeth and Coco Chanel, who are her role models at the moment because she's still discovering things. And we wrapped the return gifts in old newspaper. We made ribbons out of waste. Like I had some, old kapda lying in the house. We just cut strips to make the ribbon out of it. And the return presents, which were tough to actually make up the numbers because it was hard to just find, things. But I wanted it to be mindful, thoughtful, useful to people, and not, one more pencil box. And then you don't know what to do with it. So I got water bottles, I got flashcards for younger kids. We had these upcycled clips and upcycled accessories. We had, again, upcycled little dolls for the smaller kids again. So things that kids could use, you can't have too many water bottles, really. You'll always need, especially when you're traveling. When you travel, you realize that 2 bottles aur hoti to acha tha. So, these are little changes, and these are doable changes. So we've got that. The next generating place. Again, a fallout of birthday parties often is toys. We get the same multiple, copies and copies of the same thing, one gift, then one Scrabble, another Scrabble. Things just keep adding up, and often toys that you may or may not buy for your child. Gendered toys, dolls for girls and cars for boys. Like I said earlier, children do not have an innate sense of this is for girls and this is for boys. If you ask my daughter, I'm glad she's not sitting here right now, so I can actually tell you this openly. If you ask her favorite color, she will tell you it's blue. It's not. It's pink. Pink is her favorite color, but she will tell you it is blue because she once said that she really likes blue. And another child told her that you can't like blue because you are a girl. And since that day, blue has been her favorite color if somebody were to ever ask her what is your favorite color. This is, interestingly, the child who told her that she can't like blue because it's for boys is a boy, and he loves pink. Conditioning again, you ask him what is your favorite color, he will tell you it's blue. But at the same time, he will come to play with her, and he will take out all her things, and he will play with her bags, and he will, he once took her baby doll for a walk because, that's what he likes. This gendering is our doing. Research shows that the one toy that kids take most easily to is actually dolls. Because children are able to relate to the dolls. उनको dolls को लेकर लगता है कि ये हमारे जैसे हैं. They can project onto the dolls their daily life experiences. हम उनके साथ as adults हम उनके साथ कैसे बात करते हैं, हम उनको कैसे प्यार दिखाते हैं. Children, those are learned behaviors, especially smaller children. वो तो जो देख रहे हैं वो ही copy कर रहे हैं. So what if that is their experience with dealing with adults, then that is what they want to show. And but we stop them from doing that. Toys again are mostly made of plastics. Children, babies especially, sometimes older kids also, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, put every single thing in their mouth. If microplastics are getting absorbed into our bloodstream through the clothes we wear, when we put something made of plastic into our mouth, of course the microplastics are going into our bodies. Do we want our children to be playing with something like that? Of course we can't help what our children get as gifts. Throwing them away, like I said, throwing things away it has to be a very deliberate decision how you pass it on. But what we buy for our children is something that is very much in our hands. We get to take that call. Do we want to buy toys for our kids? Do we not want to buy toys for our kids? If we are buying toys for our kids, what kind of toys are we buying for them? Are they going to learn something from it? Is there something of value in it? How is it made? You can go and buy something very expensive for 4,000 rupees, and this is something that is a fact across industries, which is that the people who are making those things are not getting paid. So you can walk into a Hamleys, you can buy something for 4,000, 5,000 rupees, and I can guarantee you that the person who made that thing wasn't paid more than 400 rupees. And 400 rupees I'm putting at a plus side. So that is the reality of things. It is the reality of capitalism. It is why people are rich and the rich are rich and the poor are poor. And that's how it moves on. But this is for us to make the only way we can make a change is where we are putting our money. जो आपका पैसा है वो उसके साथ आप क्या कर रहे हो, that is your power. So I mean just a few examples here of better better toys. These are all handmade options for kids. I mean, this is only an option if you are looking to buy for your child. Like I said, I prefer to not buy unless there is something very, very special. But handmade toys, things that they're learning something from, wooden toys that are handcrafted, handmade dolls, upcycled dolls. These ones at the bottom where it says the Smithsonian, these are dolls that are made of upcycled stuff. They are made by women's self-help groups. They are modeled after inspirational women figures, people who have, women who made a mark for themselves and who broke stereotypes and glass ceilings, really. You'll have to change it manually. Malika, change this line. Of course, these days our children have another favorite toy, our screens. Yeah. The AAP, which is the American Academy of Pediatricians, the recommendation is that children below 6 and below actually get not more than 1 hour of screen time in a day, all inclusive. मतलब आपका टीवी टाइम, आपका शोज, अगर आपके बच्चे आपके फ़ोन पे कोई गेम्स खेलते हैं, वो ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स के साथ वीडियो कॉल्स, ये सारा कुछ 1 घंटे के अंदर अंदर हो जाना चाहिए. Screens are not good for our children. They overstimulate our children. There is too much happening. The other problem is, how do you decide what your child gets to watch and what your child doesn't get to watch? You know, you have to vet everything. And the kind of programming that exists, well, is problematic at many, many levels. बच्चों का एक बहुत पॉपुलर शो है, उसका नाम है मोटू पतलू. मतलब आप छोटा भीम, आप बचपन से बच्चों को ये बता रहे हो कि ये है मोटा, ये है पतला, ये डिफरेंट बॉडी टाइप्स हैं, इसकी ये एडवांटेजेस हैं, इसकी ये डिसएडवांटेजेस हैं, ये ऐसे बेटर है, ये ऐसे बेटर है. आपने तो मतलब एक पूरा शो है इसके पीछे, और किसी का मोटा होने का मजाक उड़ाया जा रहा है, किसी का पतला होने का मजाक उड़ाया जा रहा है. इफ दिस इज व्हाट द किड्स आर वाचिंग, that is what they are learning. So, and here again, books come back to, you know, present themselves as a better alternative. When you read with them, it's easier for you to vet them. You can, and not to mention that you can actually use them to convey very, very complex issues to children. When it comes to slightly complex issues and issues where children may not be able to express themselves and where you may not have the vocabulary to explain something to them. These are just 2 of my favorite books for young kids. My Daddy's Going Away. ये खास करके फौजी families के लिए बहुत ही ज़्यादा pertinent है. क्योंकि as an army wife, this is my favorite book for when my husband is not around. It was published by Combat Stress. It's a UK-based NGO, and they talk about and they're basically working towards you know, making lives better for the families of military people. Of course, UK-based है, but still it takes a humorous take on, you know, a parent going away. It acknowledges every feeling that both the parent and the child are feeling. Every feeling is acknowledged, it is put into words, and yet it doesn't lose the humor. So, you know, it makes it easier and bearable for a child to, you know, deal with something like that, especially when parents are away for a very, very long time, and you know, child is really attached to the parent. The Heart in the Bottle is deals with loss. It's about a girl who loses her father, and how her father had inculcated in her a sense of wonder with respect to the world around her. And when she loses her father, she you know, that everything goes away for her, turns out. So it's metaphorical. वो अपना heart लेकर एक bottle के अंदर डाल देती है. And by and by it shows that, when she starts realizing that there is nothing left in life if she loses out on that sense of wonder and that joy and that hope that is there in life. And so she finally manages to get her heart out. It is very difficult. So, there are times when she tries to break the bottle and the bottle doesn't break. She tries multiple things. So, it goes through that entire thing of how it is not as simple as bolo ki acha chalo ek kaam karo, ho gaya, ro liya, utho aur chalo. It is not as simple as that. It is a process. Books that acknowledge the process, which sometimes as parents we don't even realize is our child's reality at that very moment. So these have been used by me personally, and I have been able to help my daughter deal with situations. So these are personal recommendations also in that sense. Books, again, helping your child understand acceptance, accepting their bodies, being at peace with their bodies, establishing bodily autonomy. The statistics say 1 in 5 girls and 1 in 15 boys will be sexually abused before they turn 18, or would have been subject to some kind of an inappropriate advance at the very least. If our children have to be safe, they need to understand that their body is theirs first. Their no has meaning in it. It holds weight. When someone says no, it means no. For that, they also have to be comfortable with their bodies and the way their bodies are changing. They need to be at peace with that. They need to be at peace with the differences in their body. And again, research has shown that children who are at peace with their body and who are able to exercise that authority and autonomy over their body are actually less prone to abuse. And in the case that abuse does happen, they are able to voice it and they are able to overcome it better. So this is very, very important for our children. Just a very quick step away on kind of teaching your children how to do that. This is by the NSPCC organization, National Society for Prevention of Child Abuse. Absolutely. और बच्चे हैं यहाँ पे तो I would like you all to understand this. The anagram is pants. P, privates are private. Your private parts are your private parts. You are the only person who has the authority to touch it on your own. Nobody else should see it, touch it, anything. Always remember, your body belongs to you and to nobody else. No means no. Talk about secrets that upset you. There is another very interesting book called There Are No Secrets in This House, where you teach your children, abusers have been known to actually tell their children कि ये हमारी secret है, किसी को बताना नहीं. That is a very, very common line. कोई भी adult आपको आकर बोलता है, even if it is one parent telling you to not tell the other parent something, you need to understand that it is wrong. ये जो बात है ना, ये हमारी secret है, किसी को बताना नहीं. Why would somebody, कोई भी adult जिसको आप मतलब कम जानते हैं या चाहे जानते भी हैं, वो आप क्यों चाहेगा कि आप कोई भी बात किसी और से छुपाओ? वो बात तभी है जब वो गलत है. और अगर आपको उससे कोई भी डिस्कम्फर्ट फील हो रहा है तो प्लीज़ किसी ट्रस्टेड एडल्ट को जाकर बताइए. वो एडल्ट आपके पेरेंट्स हो सकते हैं, वो एडल्ट आपके टीचर्स भी हो सकते हैं, पर आपका ट्रस्ट उनमें ज़रूरी होना चाहिए. S is speak up, someone can help. You will only get help when you speak up. Yes? Okay. Yeah. As parents, our endeavor should be to give our children a holistic upbringing, make sure there is enough movement in their lives, they get proper sleep, they get proper nutrition, they get love. Love, when you give love, you get love. We have to nourish our children not just with wholesome food, but with also wholesome air, a wholesome environment in the house, and wholesome love. The love has to be wholesome. It cannot be one way. It cannot be conditional. It has to. The freedoms we are afforded as children and how our choices are regarded is key to how the kind of adults that we grow up into, and how much love we are able to take and give, and how we treat everybody else around me, and the kind of adults we are. So yeah.
Prerna, let us know when you're ready for Q&A.
This is my last slide.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, I'm done. This is just the slide.
Tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. Tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you.
We are if the earth is. And we need to give it love. You just saw that. There's one little letter between earth. It's the same thing. It's just the heart at the end and the heart at the beginning, and it's all the circle of life. Thank you.
Huge round of applause for Prerna. So we have entered into a Q&A session. Quickly, अगर आप में से किसी के पास कोई सवाल हैं after this talk, you're most welcome. I'll get you the mic. Just a minute.
The question is, if we try to just groom our child differently, like the TV shows or other things, तो problem ये होती है, they feel the peer, my peer is watching this show, why am I not going to watch this? So आप बताएं इसको कैसे balance कर सकते हैं?
They also feel left out of conversation sometimes in with their peer group. There are two very important things to remember over here. Thank you for the question. One is that when we talk about eco-parenting, we are not telling you to cut something out completely. It is, think about it, when you stop your child from doing something or from seeing something, talk to them about the reason. Tell them why it is not happening. Especially if it's a TV show, आप उनके साथ बैठिए, आप बोलो आपको देखना है, आज हम दोनों साथ में देखते हैं. और आप जब दोनों साथ में देख रहे हैं, आप उसके साथ उसको ब्रेक डाउन कीजिए कि अच्छा अभी उसने ये चीज़ बोली तो क्या ये चीज़ सही थी? अगर आपको कोई ये चीज़ बोलता तो आपको कैसा लगता? You know, when you start breaking it down in those terms, in relatable terms with the child, and the child begins to understand what it is that is wrong about it. It is very, very, it is not that big a deal. Also, like I said, you don't have to stop a child from watching something. You take a call with using your own judgment as a parent. This happened recently with me. My daughter came and she tried to blackmail me into letting her do something. And she comes and she says, if you don't let me do this, I'm going to pull down all the curtains in the house. So I said, where have you learned this? So first she wouldn't tell me. And it turns out she learned it in a show, and the show, the protagonists were this family of dogs. So the baby dog had told the parents that I will go and scratch all the curtains in the house. So now she realized she can't scratch the curtains, so usne change karke bol diya, I will go pull down all the curtains. So once I saw this, I said, I'm sorry, but you can't watch this show anymore. So isne bada ho gaya, no mama, no mama, no mama. So for a few days, she was not allowed to watch it. We discussed what was wrong. Then we discussed a few other things about the show that were not okay. By and large, that show is not a bad show. एक आध चीज़ें कहीं पे वो होता है. There are bratty kids everywhere. So after having discussed what was okay and what was not okay, she is now allowed to watch it again. So, we just need to kind of navigate that.
My son is 13. He watches only Big Bang Theory and IT Crowd. And he tells me that मेरी एज के सब कुछ मैंने देख के ख़त्म कर दिया, अब मैं क्या करूँ, कुछ तो नया देखूंगा. And I'm also growing up, So I sometimes at this age you cannot tell anything to the child. You just have to play along with them and
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. But one thing that I've told my son is that अगर ऐसी कुछ बात है जो तुम हमें भी नहीं बता सकते, which means that there's something really wrong with a set of your parents. You have to.
Yes.
Because अगर तुम हमें नहीं बता सकते, तुम किसी को नहीं बता सकते. So you have to be one day he just said कि अरे मम्मा यार आप. So my mother-in-law was there. She said, she's not your yaar. You're 12. She's your mother. So he said, no, but my mother says that she's my friend. So I've told him that, you think of me as anything, a mother, a friend. But if there's anything in your life that is happening, you make a new girlfriend, you have a crush, please come and tell me. Yeah. We are not going to judge you because we are the only two people in the world जो कभी judge नहीं करेंगे तुम्हें, So I want to tell this to the kids, तो आप मम्मी पापा को as a friend समझो. आप share करते हो सब कुछ मम्मी पापा से. Yes is the simplest answer. Yes बोल दो, उसके बाद कोई सवाल ही नहीं पूछेगा, है ना? नहीं, but you must talk to your parents. बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. क्लास में कोई दिक्कत होती है, कोई आपको परेशान कर रहा है, you must go and tell your parents. आपकी मम्मी आके प्रिंसिपल से मिलेंगी नहीं, लेकिन आपको बताएंगी शायद कि how to deal with it. है ना? Always talk. बात करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. स्कूल में बोलते हैं चुप रहो. वो तब क्योंकि क्लास चल रही होती है. अदरवाइज लाइफ में बात करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, राइट? क्योंकि जब तक आप बोलोगे नहीं, कोई आपके मन की बात नहीं बढ़ सकता.
Yeah, this is something I tell my daughter also every day. And I tell her, I said, if you've done something wrong, अगर कुछ गलत किया है, आप प्लीज़ खुद से आकर मेरे को बताओ. क्योंकि अगर मम्मा को नहीं पता है कि क्या हुआ है, तो मम्मा आपकी हेल्प नहीं कर सकती है. It can be dangerous. It can get kids into trouble. उसके जो fallouts हैं वो बहुत कुछ हो सकते हैं. And sometimes you can't even imagine. आपका बच्चा इंटरनेट पे बैठा है, इंटरनेट में किसी चैट रूम पे, there is some, मतलब चैट रूम्स अब नहीं होते, but there are other versions of that. And they come across somebody and they're talking, they're having a secret conversation and you don't know that. And now your child has this feeling that this is something wrong. We've known of very, very extreme things that have come out of situations like this. But अगर parents को पता होता तो parents मॉनिटर कर सकते थे सिचुएशन, समझा सकते थे क्या हो सकता है.
Yeah, so on that note, cheers to parents and thank you so much, Prerna. And thank you so much for being a lovely audience.
There's a question.
Yeah, there's a question. Okay, we'll take up this question.
Wow.
Hi Prerna, my question is कि like we all are parents sitting over here, तो मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है कि हम बच्चों से जेंडर के बारे में आराम से कैसे बात करें besides book, ताकि बच्चे, हम ज़्यादातर पेरेंट्स कह देते हैं कई बार कि आप स्कूल में टीचर बता देंगे या बुक से पढ़ लीजिए, तो हम कंफर्टेबल.
So this is why it is important to start talking शुरू से. अगर हम एज अप्रोप्रिएट मैनर में बचपन से छोटी छोटी चीज़ें उनको बताते रहे, बच्चों को सब कुछ जानना एक बार में जानना ज़रूरी नहीं है, तो वो कॉन्वर्सेशंस नॉर्मलाइज हो जाती हैं और हमको एक बार बैठकर उनको सब कुछ नहीं बताना पड़ेगा. देन वी कैन कीप एडिंग टू इट एज द नीड अराइजेज. आज उन्होंने कहीं कोई बात सुन ली, उन्होंने आकर आपको बताया कि मम्मा वो बच्चे ये बोल रहे थे, तो फिर आप उनसे वो बात एड्रेस कीजिए. कल को कुछ होता है एंड यू रियलाइज दैट योर चाइल्ड डजंट नो दिस एंड नाउ यू नीड टू टॉक टू देम अबाउट दिस, तो आप उनसे एक बात एड्रेस कीजिए. अगर आपके बच्चे थोड़े से बड़े हैं, इट इज़ नेवर टू लेट टू स्टार्ट. And आज तो there are enough online resources also to help you deal with kids. There is something called Amaze Kids, which has a junior and a senior version. तो juniors के लिए अलग videos हैं, बॉडी पार्ट्स में डिफरेंसेस समझाने के लिए, ये गर्ल्स हैं, ये बॉयज़ हैं, स्टीरियोटाइपिंग का कॉन्सेप्ट समझाने के लिए कि स्टीरियोटाइपिंग क्या होती है और कैसे इट इज़ ओके फॉर गर्ल्स टू प्ले विद फायर ट्रक्स और वट एवर, और फॉर बॉयज़ टू सी. सो वो छोटी छोटी 4-4, 5-5 मिनट की कॉन्वर्सेशंस है जो आपको हेल्प कर सकती हैं. छोटे बच्चों के लिए अलग रिसोर्स है क्योंकि लेवल अलग होता है, लैंग्वेज चेंज हो जाती है. बट आप अपनी लैंग्वेज आपकी अगर इवॉल्व होती रहे शुरू से, देन इट यू रीच अ पॉइंट वेयर इट्स नॉट डिफिकल्ट टू टेक दैट. हाँ जी. द पॉडकास्ट इज़ कॉल्ड टॉकिंग प्रिटी एंड जो पॉडकास्ट है उस पर हम मोस्टली फैशन की ही बातें करेंगे क्योंकि फोकस प्राइमरीली वो है. एवरीथिंग एल्स टाइज इन बिकॉज लाइक आई सेड ये सारा कुछ हमारे कपड़े it's like a common factor somewhere, absolutely. Absolutely. So podcast mein we are having conversations with multiple people who are who work in the field and who they're talking about their own experiences and about the industry. Of course it is because it's never too early to know about these things. So
So thank you again for being a lovely audience. Thank you, Prerna, once again. We learnt a lot. I think small takeaways, which are very big. T-shirt wale ko bag bana lo and all those things, yeah. And the kids, reuse your books. Agar thode se page reh jate, panne reh jate hain, use those books. Very small things that we can do. On that note, at 2 o'clock, we'll have a workshop which will be conducted by Mr. Narendra. It will talk about, agar aapko likhne ka shauk hai, how to publish your work. That's what he's going to be talking about. So if you're interested, please be here at 2 o'clock for the next session. This is me, Aarti Kartik Singh. Thank you so much.